during my early life. I had some adult aunts who were teachers. They were very close to us, and were always very kind to us, visited us. We admired them, and all through my younger life, I admired them for their work as teachers and their enjoyment of teaching. And I look back as that being my first impression of being a teacher.
We grew up in churches that were very mission-minded, and that was our life. I always thought that I was going to grow up and be a missionary and go to Africa, like all little girls that studied in their GAs. But if we wound up in Lumberton, and in Lumberton we met Jane and Wendell Parker, missionaries from Guatemala. They were there on a furlough. They happened to be in Henry's deacon family list. And we got to know real life missionaries as our best friends. And they were just very special.
Sometime later, Wendell called and says, I want you to come down to Guatemala to help us on this Lotta Moon house we're building. I said, Wendell, I don't need to do that. Let me just send you the money that it would take. I can't help. No, I want you to come. So I got a couple of friends, an electrician and a jack-of-all-trades man, and we went to Guatemala, worked on this Lotta Moon house, which was 6 hours by automobile from the nearest telephone. And there were no cell phones either. So we had a real good experience there, and within the next few years we went with Southern Baptist Convention program and Bible school in Jamaica. It was fine. We went to Brazil with a group from Robeson and Harnett counties, and we just felt that this was what we could do. We called Baptist men and said, we're available. Is there someone who needs some help on a team? And they put us in touch with Jasper Evans, and later with Raymond Arp and with Zolly Ward. This was different years. And we went with those folks and had wonderful experiences. Not knowing that it was that important, but we did some good things. Then
it was soon after we moved here. We hadn't been here but just a few months, and the telephone rang. I answered the phone. It was Mark Abernathy from North Carolina Baptist Men. He said he had a project in Brussels, Belgium. He needed someone for 2 months, a couple for 2 months, to join 2 other couples. Would you be interested? And are you available? I said, well, I don't see why not. And so I go out, Bud's in the yard, in the garden, and I say, hey, Bud, we're going to Brussels, Belgium for 2 months. We were available. He needed us, and it was the right time to do it.
And along the way, we were in a program at Baptist Men one day, and Pastor Jonas with the Gypsy Church in the Ukraine made a speech about what was happening there, and it was just very touching. It was very moving. I told Oleta we needed to do that. And so we made arrangements and did it. It was very worthwhile. Then one day we said we were available this particular summer. Let's call and see if anyone needs a team, needs help on their team. Well, someone there, probably Mark Abernathy, gave us 2 names. I called one, and he said his was full. I called this lady in Rutherfordton, and she was going to Hawaii to do a vacation Bible school. I says, well, do you need any assistance? She says, I am desperate for someone to do preschool vacation Bible school. And well, Oleta has done kindergarten program at First Baptist Church for 18 years. She's worked in Sunday school, preschool for 25 years. She's, oh my, that's an answer to prayer. So we went to Hawaii and had a wonderful time with about 20 children in a preschool program. She did the work and I helped her. But along the way, we had some wonderful experiences, and we feel that God has been with us, because sometimes we've been in places where we needed some drastic help. But maybe this all has come about because we have said we're available. And I think that's the story.
It's an ongoing process. I've been a Christian since I was 9. I accepted Christ when I was 9 years old. So that part has been a part of how I've always been. I didn't know how not to be a Christian, really, growing up in a Christian family. But as for God's calling, I didn't fully understand that until I went to Camp Munda Vista as a Girls in Action, or GA, many, many years ago, and saw that evidenced in the missionaries that came and the staff that I worked with that summer. That was a wonderful summer to be able to see all of that. But to carry that a little further, God's calling in my life has also been very strong in my profession. And I feel like God led me to this profession. I didn't grow up in a nursing family. I didn't grow up in a medical family. And I decided to go to Mars Hill College and was blessed with an advisor that put things in place and helped me make that decision to pursue a degree in nursing. And everything that has happened in my life, I see where God opened doors. I always wanted to do what God led me to do, but I don't see where I pursued that as, okay, what next, what next? That wasn't how it happened. It was more of a leading. I would go in a direction I could see where He would open these doors. And this door would open just like in nursing. I was blessed with an advisor that led me in that direction, and I decided to pursue the nursing degree. And through that degree, and through my work as a nurse, I've been able to be a part of people's lives in a different way because I am a Christian. And you don't have to wear it on your lapel. And people sense that in your actions because patients will ask you to pray for them without you telling them I'm a Christian. So, and we're seeing that now. John and I bought the practice right down the street in 2006, and God has blessed us with a Christian staff that we have presently, and the same thing I see happen there. Patients sense that atmosphere of God's Spirit in our work and how we talk with them and work with them, and they will ask us, will you pray for me? Will you remember me? They'll share things that I don't think they would share otherwise. And we pray for our patients. John and I, of course, work with each other and go home again with each other. So we do talk about things, and we do pray for our patients and have needs that are heavy on our heart for them. So, and it's a part of what we do. It's a 24/7 part of my life. So in that sense, God's calling is an ongoing part of what I do on a daily basis. And as I look back, God has opened those doors. I didn't start out saying I want to own a business with my husband. That door literally just opened right in front of us. So for both of us, it's not been a dramatic light bulb thing. It's been more of this door opened, and okay, it's time to go through that one. And as we take on these new adventures, then we can see where God is guiding us and working with the folks that we're around.